right, let's see if anyone gets notified that we're actually live. It's been really varying lately. So TV is live, I'm getting the notification. And it didn't give me a notification for the main account. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, still waiting on dude from Facebook to get back to me about the whole deal with, look, let's get these numbers up. Let's get these numbers up. So, just so you know, you may be wondering, hey dude, so there's a lot of talk lately about colors, okay? And a lot of folks actually have studied into this and how each different color has a different vibrational frequency because it's emitting at a different wavelength of light. And keep in mind, grass isn't green, the sky isn't blue. Those information light codes are decoded within your eyes, within your brain and your eyes. So it's very interesting because other animals with different receptors in their eyes and different brains don't see the same colors that me and you do. So it's actually, you are the decoder of the information field in this reality. So we were talking about this earlier, and I was going to post it in the Telegram, but basically, do you ever wonder why you go to a funeral and you're supposed to wear black, right, at a funeral? Or if you think about the Grim Reaper, he's always depicted wearing black, okay? And if you ever saw that David Icke interview where he gets roasted in front of, millions of people, he was wearing violet, okay, or purple. And he said there's a very specific reason that he was wearing violet or purple. Now think about it. What frequency of light purifies water? You may think sunlight, because sunlight does cause water to become what they call solar water or sun-charged water. But one of the lights that a lot of people have in their home to purified water is ultraviolet. Ultraviolet light purifies and cleans water. So this is why in a lot of spiritual teachings, they say that visualizing the color violet or a violet flame, they say, is purifying to your mind, body, and soul. Because that frequency of light, violet, is one of the highest vibrational frequency colors that exists. So if you're visualizing violet, you are being upgraded, you could say. And if anyone, for example, I remember when I first heard about this and someone told me, after I talked about it on a live feed, they said, hey, I was going through the airport and a family member of mine foolishly didn't actually opt out of the body scanner. So they ended up walking through the radiation emitting body scanner, getting fried, getting their DNA unzipped and reformulated with radiation. And they said that they visualized their family member, okay, surrounded by ultraviolet light or ultraviolet flame. And keep in mind, you can genetically, vibrationally upgrade and heal people by visualizing them in those types of frequencies, ultraviolet light. Very, very interesting. But what I'm going furthermore into saying is that each different color has a different, vibrational frequency. They say, orange or red has a different meaning and frequency to it than blue or, yellow, etc. But what about black? Why is it that many, even Sadhguru, okay, the Indian guru, talks about how you should not wear, and he does not wear and will not wear black? And you may be thinking, dude, what are you talking about, man? Well, think about it. Black absorbs, okay, it absorbs light. It absorbs energy, because light is just energy. Why do you wear black at a funeral? Why does the Grim Reaper wear black? Could you picture dressing a baby in black clothing, a little newborn? Probably not. My point is this, that it's very interesting that many are saying, and there's even a conscious language course that's very famous, that has many different centers around the world that you can go to, where it's a conscious language course that basically can genetically heal you and has a high amount of benefits. And they're not allowed to wear black during this course, at the course. No one's allowed to wear black. They're not supposed to be wearing black at the course because black absorbs energy, and that means that if you're wearing black and you're out in public, you are absorbing the energy of all the folks around you. And you already know all about how we, say that different people's auric fields, their auras, okay, can transmit and interface with your auric field, with your vibrational field that exists around you. And Mitz asked the loaded question, which I knew there's no way to talk about this and someone not ask. He said, what if you're actually black, though? He was thinking, like, dude, like, you're saying don't wear black. What about black people? Like, they're dressed in black, they're basically black. Here's the thing. Most, if not all, like, black barely even exists in the natural world. But black people, if you really zoom in, it's just dark brown. Depending on of course, there's varying skin tones. But really, very, even people from Sudan, the blackest people in the world, are not pure black. It is dark brown. And so this is what I'm talking about is that, and Sadhguru made a joke. He's like, I know you folks, a lot of people wear black because they want to, look slimmer. And he made a joke and everyone laughed and everything. But the color black on clothing is and in fact, hold on, black is not a color. It is a shade, and it is completely different. There's even a whole expose about how, it's not a color, it's a shade. And many people go into this and it can get controversial, but let's just stick strictly to, science. All right. And it is the idea that black absorbs energy. It absorbs, light, and it absorbs what? Frequencies. It absorbs energy. So if you're out there and you're walking around and you're in public or you're with other people and whatnot, the color of your clothing does influence your reality. It does influence it. And this is why, like I said, David Icke there, he's on stage. He's talking about, I'm wearing my ultraviolet light shirt. I'm wearing a violet shirt because it's a purifying color. Okay, think about it. And by the way, before you think I'm crazy, McDonald's, some of the biggest corporations in the world are specifically using colors, that trigger certain parts of your brain in order to influence your subconscious mind. So while we're arguing no, dude, color doesn't have that effect. What are you talking about? These corporations are using these colors to influence the minds of millions and millions of people. And think about it. We'll just circle back for a moment that, hey, you wear black at a funeral, man. The Grim Reaper's wearing black. You wouldn't dress a baby in black. You're not supposed to wear black at these courses that are very world famous, where people go and do these genetically healing frequency courses that are very interesting, and you're not supposed to wear black in them. You're not allowed to wear black in them. And on top of that, you have Sadhguru, who someone said that he shilled for the Shmak Shmeen, but that's not the case. He actually said he'd be the last one to take it. If you saw that, the article about him, he said he'd be the last one to take it. But so this is my point, is that you may want to be, you will not see me, and when I upload this video to Instagram, if I don't say anything too crazy on it, it will say, why I will never wear black, unless there's a specific, unless, we got Mad Max, all right, and the global supply chain is collapsed and we're literally on the brink of, there's all this crazy stuff going on. I'm talking anarchy. Maybe I got to do a mission in the middle of the night. I'll dress in black. But this is what I'm talking about, is that it's very, very interesting. The colors you wear do have an effect on your reality and what you can manifest into your reality. And remember, this isn't just a random thought. Keep in mind that you have the entire, there's many organizations out there I was talking about. You don't want necessarily, or you do want to be aware of the colors that you are wearing and what effect they have on your system. I just watched, by the way, Sadhguru. Someone says don't give him credit, he's an idiot, yada yada. I watched a video yesterday of Sadhguru get asked about GMOs, and he kind of slowly got up into the, he slowly climbed into the subject and said, there's no way these, and then eventually said, because I was thinking about it, dude, what's he about to say? What's Sadhguru about to say about genetically modified food? And sure enough, He says those companies don't give a crap about your health. This is in 2014. He said, they have nothing to do with making food healthier, and that we should kick them out of India. That's what Sadhguru said. So I'm not going to say that he's as much of a shill as Dalai Lama, who literally put that video that picture on Instagram of him getting the you-know-what, and all the comments were like, dude, what the hell, man? But other people were saying, that's amazing, man, now you're safe. And it's like, dude, very, very strange what happened to, my body, my choice and whatnot. But apparently Coach Nav is saying that he tweeted out against the farmers' protest. So I don't look that much into, I'm not following him that closely, but if he was talking against the farmers' protests, then that is lame to me, in my opinion. Because those farmers' protests in India, and it's so funny, I did a video one day in my stories, and I said, what's happening in India, and I addressed it. And all of a sudden, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people from India started following me, and I'm thinking, what the heck? And I go to my page, and all these different Indian pages who are talking about the farmers' protests, etc., were shouting me out saying, look, like, this is the information, and they're sharing all kinds of people talking about it, but it was just funny. Also, one time, the dude, very famous, Shahid Kapoor, I think his name is, a famous guy in, India's version of Hollywood, he posted my story to he shared something of mine, and I got thousands of Indian followers overnight. Very funny, very interesting. A lot of folks actually from India are following this page. We talk all the time. They're telling me about what's going on in with the Indian farmers' protests, which is very strange. They are trying to definitely take over the entire food supply all throughout the world, and they're knocking India. They're trying to knock on India's door. Hopefully that wakes up, a sleeping giant, and all the Indians say, hey, look, we've been growing our food for many years. We don't need this big tech company, biotech company coming in and changing the way that we live our lives and have lived our lives for a very, very long time. So, Matij Javita Savik said, what about cars that are black, for example? Well, put it this way. All I'm saying is this. The color black absorbs, or the shade that is black absorbs energy. And unless you're really good at transmuting, then you do want to be aware of what types of energy you're absorbing, walking around in public, around people. Just picture yourself wearing a variety of different colors, and then picture yourself wearing all black, okay? And your subconscious mind will tell you everything you need to know, okay? Everything you need to know. So, or should I say, your subconscious mind, your intuition will tell you everything you need to know. So, with that being said, very, very interesting. Yes, exactly. They are coming for, and this is the thing, one step at a time, One step at a time they're coming with, because no country in the world, no group of a civilization in the world ever became, like I said, dark-skinned people, and black hair is not truly black. It's dark, dark, dark brown. It's dark, dark, dark brown. There's very, very few, if any, actually, natural substances and things in nature that are purely black. Black is the absence of color, which it's brown. It's brown. So anyways, that's another thing that will get people's head spinning. They'll go, hold on a second. So you're telling me, it actually gets controversial because we're talking about a color, but then people are associating it with the gigantic, narrative that's being pushed today, which is to fully pit people with different skin tones against each other. And let me tell you something, and this is what I talked about, and all I can say is this, okay? Because I do got to be careful with what I talk about, because me going against the narrative, you got to be really careful, because you just got to be very careful. Divide the armies. If you want to win the war, you got to divide the armies. Keep in mind, just keep in mind, okay? Agenda 21, which is the global enslavement plan, includes everyone. Includes people living in China, in Compton, in Sweden. Every single person in the world is planned to be included in the enslavement plan, regardless of what ethnic group you belong to or you're coming from or you have incarnated into. So for those folks who now are saying, look, black people are the problem, white people are the problem, Asians are the problem, all these people pushing these different narratives could not be further from the truth. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what you look like, if we don't wake up, we're going to end up in the same internment camp, re-education camp, as anyone else. They're not going to be segregating the 5G facial recognition smart city concentration camps. They're not going to be segregating those. You're going to be in it if we don't wake up, regardless of what ethnic background you hail from. All right? So please, miss me with the, it's this group's fault, or it's that group's fault, or yada yada. No. If you don't know, if you're talking about, if you're not talking about the Trilateral Commission, the Jesuits, Bilderbergs, all these things, then you're missing the boat of who's truly orchestrating the plan for global enslavement. Okay? That's it. There's no, the colonists, or the Arabs who enslaved the Turkish people, or the Chinese who enslaved the Mongolians, or the Russians who killed the Ukrainians. And no. It comes down to these gigantic corporations and gigantic agencies that want you fighting amongst each other and dividing the armies so that they will be able to, globally enslave everyone, regardless of what ethnic background you come from. So let's make that very, very clear to this person who is talking smack, who I had to kick out of these 2 lives, who's not listening anymore, so I don't know why I'm addressing her. Anyways, my point is this, is that at the end of the day, okay, keep in mind, these corporations and these agencies are schooled in occult knowledge. Occult knowledge is hidden knowledge. So when you look at these major corporations, not only do these major corporations have logos that are specific colors to elicit specific responses in your brain, but they are also drawn up and drafted with sacred geometric patterns, with the Fibonacci sequence. The McDonald's logo is the Fibonacci sequence. The Taco Bell logo, okay? The Apple logo. Start naming them. They're all these major corporations are using the Fibonacci sequence, okay? Which is essentially to make it more appealing to your subconscious mind, and you will be more subconsciously drawn to that corporation's products when you're getting basically mind controlled by the colors it's giving off, or subliminally altered with the colors that it is colored with, and the sequence of pattern that is that these logos are. So in other words, McDonald's and Apple and all these, with the colors that they are, plus the Fibonacci sequence, it's subconscious, okay? It's subconscious. And why, you may be wondering, why do they want to do that? Why are they doing that? Well, hold on a second. They're doing that because they know how to influence and manipulate the energy of humans, okay? Because at the end of the day, people say, corporations, they're just money-hungry corporations. No. Money is a side effect. Money is the means, but is not the end, okay? Money is the means of these corporations, but it's not the end of these corporations' plan. In fact, many corporations aren't even profitable, but they're there because it's not that they gain money, it's that they gain power. They gain control, okay? And that's what the majority of these corporations are all about. And you may be thinking, well, why? And it's because at the end of the day, this gigantic thing that we're experiencing on Earth today, the gigantic power struggle between corporations and people, is because they want to basically mass energy harvest the population. Mass, what you could say, devitalize the population. Mass, keep the population in a lowered state. They don't care They want everyone in a lowered state. That's where this is going. This is why, for example, when Monsanto invented LED lights, Monsanto invented LED lights. They were the ones to invent LED lights, okay? And then when they put those in the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of apartment buildings, office buildings, etc., where the vast majority of people work. The majority of people work in an office building, or at least the majority of people in cities live or work rather in an office building. Nothing wrong with that from face value. But the fact that they are all under LED and compact fluorescent lights and CFL lights, which they're saying they do use less energy, but they emit a wavelength of light that is very harmful to your skin, to your eyes, to your vibrational frequency. Keep in mind, let's reel it back for a second. McDonald's and these major mega corporations know about energy. They're schooled on occult knowledge, which means hidden knowledge. So they believe in energy, and here we are having this discussion. Damn, do they really believe in energy? Yeah, they're trying to take the energy from you and disempower you and keep you in a lowered state. That's why LED and CFL lights are across every major city in the world, and now they're all on the street lights. All the street lights are now LEDs. That's part of the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars secret agenda. And it's because when you're sitting in an office building underneath LED and CFL light bulbs, your energy is being harvested. Whoa, dude, what are you talking about? Well, here's what I'm talking about. With the frequencies coming from Wi-Fi, cell towers, okay, and maybe even 5G, there is put it this way. We live in the third dimension. There's a frequency reality that we're in right now. We are observing the third dimension, but our brains and our consciousness comes from a higher dimension. Yes. But so too do the true manipulators of this third dimension that we live in. This third dimension is being influenced and altered and manipulated from a source that does not originate in the third dimension, in an ulterior dimension, in a potentially the fourth dimension, is where the influence and manipulation is coming from, which means that you cannot even see it with your naked eye. You can't see where the true, you think it's even the Bilderbergs, you're thinking it's the Bilderbergs or it's the Rothschilds, you're thinking it's all these folks. You may be thinking that. But the truth is that they are just the physical component of the non-physical root of this influence over humanity. That's what it is. And therefore, if I say to you that your energy is being harvested by low vibrational entities that do not exist in the third dimension, you're like, what are you talking about, you idiot? But here's the thing. Think about every single culture in human history that spoke about entities from other realms. At what point, if every civilization except for this civilization we're in right now has believed in and regarded and knew about, and it was common knowledge that there are entities in other frequencies that exist around us that aren't in the third dimension, that are in a different frequency band, why are we the first civilization ever that says, no, man, it's false, man. Only what we see exists. No. So my point is this. They are putting into the human consciousness, okay, and this reality we live in, ingredients and frequencies of light and things in the water supply where essentially human energy is being harvested and it's going to places that's not assisting humanity. This is why when you get to the bottom of their plan, it comes down to your body. Your physical body is the connection point, okay, between this physical reality and the non-physical reality that is around us. And the more polluted that your physical vessel is, the weaker the connection with your soul. Detoxing, rejuvenating, and restoring must be of peak priority. There's no other priority higher than your own vibrational frequency that your body is in, which is completely altered day to day by what you consume, by what you consume, not just, physically like eating or drinking, but I'm talking about what you consume, what entertainment you consume, what music you consume, what energies you consume, what colors you're wearing. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. And that's why when you at the end of the day, the more human beings that are in a heightened state, that are in a vibrationally boosted state, the less these negative entities can influence our reality. So in other words, one of our ways to true human freedom, in fact, the way to true human freedom, is having more and more human beings in a heightened state of consciousness, which you can come by way of, for example, meditating, grounding, of course, tree hugging. Whoa, dude, what are you talking about? Hey, remember, tree hugging. Scientific analysis indicates hugging trees turns on DNA strands in your body that are dormant that eventually result in healing throughout the body. That's tree hugging a tree, because the magnetic frequency, the magnetic field of that tree interacts with the magnetic frequency of your own body, which is generated by your heart and your brain. Okay. And so that's interesting by itself. But think about this for a moment. When millions and millions of people are in apartment buildings and in office buildings, you ever think about a computer like a motherboard? And a lot of the components in the motherboard are made of silica, which is the main ingredient in the skyscrapers that millions of people are in. Some people are postulating that we are in this third dimension energy matrix, and these gigantic buildings that are connected or made with silica, which is the main component in motherboards, we're in this matrix energy system where they are harvesting energy from millions and millions of people, and it's going to places that are not in this physical reality that we're in. In other words, if you aren't having your energy harvested and you're not in a lowered state of consciousness, then you are retracting the energy that you are otherwise giving up freely to these negative entities that are manipulating humanity from an unseen realm. This is the importance of keeping your system in peak function. I'm telling you, we could go out there and protest. We can go and pull down statues like a lot of people think is actually doing something good when they hear about what happened 100 or 200 or 50 years ago. They're pulling down statues across the United States and Canada. All I'm saying is this. You can do all that stuff. But Agenda 21 is to enslave all of you, regardless of who you are, regardless of your history. So you're focusing on a perfectly orchestrated and engineered distraction, which is to keep you away from realizing that your system is either giving energy to this matrix that is manipulating us, or giving that energy into those loved ones around you and the natural vibrational frequency of this earth, which has its own state of consciousness. And the earth's consciousness interacts with us, and our collective consciousness interacts with what reality we end up manifesting and materializing in this third dimension. Now, how's that for a little bit? I mean, is that a bit trippy? I mean, yeah, it is. It is, man. But that doesn't mean it is, I read a document yesterday that said they want the majority of people on earth to be being entertained. They want them to be entertained by things that don't exceed a 6th grade education level. They want you numbed and dumbed, okay? With the fluoride, with the GMOs, with the pesticides. And to do the opposite of that, you start making lifestyle changes. You start grounding, bare feet on the ground, often. You start essentially going out and being more grateful, because gratitude is the highest frequency emotion. Gratitude is the highest frequency feeling. You go out there and you think about wearing black, because we just talked about how that can also sap energy from you and is the absence of color. It is not a color, it is a shade, it is the absence of color. And that's why many courses around the world, spiritual courses, say not to wear black. And you start going out there and thinking of, do you want to consume genetically modified processed foods that alter your vibrational frequency and your DNA? Probably not. You don't want to do those things. You want to start introducing the heirloom organic stuff, formerly known as food. Your ancestors formerly knew organic food as just simply food, okay? And when you start doing that, you can completely influence and alter your natural, the manifested physical equivalent of whatever it is that you're focusing on. In other words, if you're focusing on negative stuff, you will materialize the physical equivalent of that, which is what? Well, negative experiences. If you're focusing on positive things, then you will materialize the physical equivalent of that, which is positive experiences. How's that? Now imagine, and this is what I found out a few years ago, and it's never left my mind thinking about this. Imagine finding out that you can be consuming different things that are called superfoods that increase the function of your ability to manifest and materialize your own reality plus the collective consciousness, the collective state of reality on Earth. Imagine that. And that's why likely my post was deleted the other day that was talking about the purified shilajit, which is a natural superfood, been used for thousands of years throughout the Himalayan mountains. It's traded on the Silk Road in China. It was secretly studied by the Russian military. They're still finding out benefits that this substance has on increasing pineal gland function, third eye function, increasing memory, concentration, and focus. This is a superfood. And it is the main ingredient in the Chalk Daily, which seemingly there's now a conspiracy against as well. They don't want people taking potentially the Chalk Daily. Because all of a sudden, if you start getting these rare superfoods into your system, you're all of a sudden going to be raising your frequency. And Liam Bermejo said, Russian Olympic team used it to dominate. That's right. The Russian Olympic team did take shilajit. And it came out that, hey, is this a performance enhancer? And yeah, it enhances performance, but it's not synthetic. It's not fake news. It's natural. So I'm pretty sure that that they got away with it, that it was a perfectly, I mean, it's, all chalk supplements are getting certified for the, the NCF or the NPF, whatever it is, where it's considered a not performance enhancer, so you're allowed to take it if you're in any professional sports. Because these are all natural ingredients. They're not synthesized, like, for example, when people are on TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, that's synthetic. That's a synthetic hormone. And you will stop producing that naturally if you're taking it synthetically. That's the same with birth control. It's a synthetic hormone. You start taking that, you're going to throw all of your hormones out of whack. Versus if you start taking ingredients like the Tongkat 100, which is the 100-to-1 extract of Tongkat Ali, which has, again, been used for thousands of years. It has been used for increasing natural energy, stamina, brain function, and hormone metabolism. Night and day difference. When you're taking powerful, clinically studied compounds, your body will be in a different state. You will be in a heightened state of consciousness, and you will be able to manifest a totally different reality than those around you who are still drinking fluoride, who are still eating GMOs, etc. Not to say you're better than them, but you can be at a heightened frequency than them. Not to say that's your goal. Your goal should be to be a better version of yourself each day, which is cutting out fluoride, which is cutting out tap water. Stop showering in tap water. Potentially get a shower filter, potentially get a house filter, whatever you got to do to cut away your exposure from these strange ingredients and chemicals. And by the way, the Action 2.0, which we talk about regularly, remember that one of the ingredients in here, the beetroot extract, the beetroot powder that's in here, increases nutrient delivery. So any other ingredient that is in the Action 2.0 can be considered that you will absorb it more optimally, more efficiently, and this supplement specifically is for all-day natural energy. No stimulants, not a Red Bull, not an energy drink, but natural ingredients that give you a sustained and prolonged energy boost throughout the day. That's the Action 2.0 to restore the vitality and restore the energy that has been sapped from you. Think about it for a second. LED lights, GMOs, fluoride, all these things, okay, unfortunately reduce vitality in your system. If you're taking Action 2.0, which is clinically studied to increase nitric oxide in your blood 230%, nitric oxide is what can give your body energy. It is what is known as they believe that with other ingredients to be vasodilators, which increase, like I said, nutrient delivery and energy production throughout the deepest cells throughout your body that usually are exempt and do not get access to powerful natural superfoods like the beetroot powder that's in here, plus the rhodiola rosea, which you remember that the rhodiola rosea was secretly studied by the Russian military and was clinically studied to optimize endocrine system function, to reduce combat fatigue. That's what they found out when they were discovering and studying it in the Cold War, This is a potent superfood blend that anyone, when they try and they take it for at least the 90-day chalk challenge, or even before that, many people leave a review before the 90th day, but that is when the clinically studied benefits were based on. They start to see what their body is truly capable of, being in a heightened state of consciousness. And if you combine the Action 2.0, all day natural energy, and then you start talking about the purified shilajit, and you start taking the purified shilajit, which is the substance that comes out of mountains in the Himalayas, that this specific source of it, they use hot water to purify this substance, remove impurities, increase the concentration of the shilajit, and then you get that dose of fulvic acid, which is the main bioactive plant compound in shilajit that is responsible for its hormone optimization effects, its ability to increase memory, concentration, motivation, confidence, you name it. This is a superfood for men or women. Anyone's got to try this, especially if chalk is extending, which they are currently extending, the 4th of July flash sale. Using the code 53life for a 53% off lifetime discount of any subscription or bundle, or use the code 60off for 60% off all orders store-wide. Imagine you're taking the shilajit and the Action 2.0, and you're on the 53% off lifetime discount. That is insane. And chalk, the fact that they've even temporarily extended this is very interesting. You want to take advantage while it is still active. That's the shilajit Action 2.0. Remember that the most popular combination for men is the daily action, because the daily has the full, what's it called? Let me kick this guy out. The daily has 4 different adaptogens in it, which are agreed to and have been scientifically validated to have an effect on mood and concentration and focus. But those ingredients specifically have been believed to be for men, because in ancient India and in ancient Ayurvedic science, they believe that these specific ingredients have a more masculine energy and they're meant for men. But any other chalk supplement can be taken by men or women. So the most popular for men, daily action combo, and a very, very popular combination for women would be the either shilajit Action 2.0 or the shilajit and tongkat, which we just mentioned, superfood, 100 to 1 extract of this rare botanical, certified wild crafted, and clinically studied. Keep in mind, you can get tongkat Ali all over the internet for extremely cheap, but you can't get the wild crafted and clinically studied tongkat. It is extremely rare. And the other one that's very popular for women as well, ever since we started talking about, and by the way, happy belated Independence Day, everyone. The chalk armor contains an ingredient known as astragalus. And you remember, astragalus lengthens telomeres. It has an anti-aging effect on the human body. So too does shilajit. It has an anti-aging effect, but the armor hits differently. I can't compare the two. They're both very powerful. They're both amazing. And but if you combine the two, you're getting extremely rare compounds. Highly beneficial, increase your vibrational frequency, increase the resonance, the energetic resonance of your system. And when that happens, you are able, and I know this for a fact, because ever since I started detoxing, I started getting cleaner, healthier, cutting out harmful chemicals, etc. The ability to manifest exactly what you want is a little bit quicker. You could say significantly quicker, because that's the whole reason why they're putting these harmful pollutants in the food and water supply anyway, is because the less able you are to influence your own reality, which means collectively the reality spread out throughout the world. Very, very interesting. Let's kick this ding dong out of here, who was just mentioning up here what they say. You celebrated Independence Day. Yeah, that's bad. Oh. Let's read it. What did they say? Let's see. Actually, before I read that silly comment, Sierra said, I have to say that these supplements have done amazing to my body. My cycles are 100% better and more and better. Feel more at peace and more energy. That's amazing, Sierra. It's incredible, because think about it for a second. You're getting ingredients that are clinically studied to optimize hormone metabolism. Think of that for a second. That's hormones. Hormones increase and are, of course, critically important component of your entire system and your cognitive function, your ability to critically think, etc. And not to mention your ability to, it's your DNA. It has a very significant effect on your DNA. Where did this person, let's see, I think maybe I kicked them out so their comment is hidden. That's right, so I didn't even get to see it. They're basically, it's funny because let me tell you something, like we talked about earlier, but this does trigger people, so I'm going to be careful. But all I'm going to say is this. A lot of countries in the world, you're not able or allowed to criticize the government. You're not allowed. You will be put in jail. A lot of places, a lot of countries in Africa, you can't be a public political dissident. You can't be publicly against the government. In China, you can't be like that. Even in Russia, if you're super publicly against what the government is currently doing and you're exposing them, etc., things may happen to you. You will be put into jail in many countries around the world. At least for those who don't like America, they don't like the history of America, they don't like what happened to America, they don't like America, they hate America, let's say. At least you're living in a country where you're allowed to do that and you have the freedom, at least freedom of speech, maybe not on social media, but on the public, and your ability to carry a firearm, which most countries around the world, you do not have that freedom. And please miss me with the idea that, oh, you're safer if you can't own a firearm. You're safer if your ability to defend yourself is removed. You're safer if only the criminals and law-abiding, citizens can't own firearms, but only the criminals can, because criminals don't obey the law anyway in the first place. I'm about to kick out that Bryant dude, but he has one more chance, and then get lost, buddy. Research pyramid power, big guy. So anyways, very, very interesting. That's something to be aware of. At least you're able to publicly dislike your government without being put in a camp or being executed, which happens in China. So for anyone who's going around saying, damn America, damn for example, people are saying right now, it's horrible what happened to the indigenous folks in Canada. And it's true. They definitely got colonized. They got conquested. It was, survival of the fittest. People came around and said, we're taking this, and they fought, and, some won, some lost. But my point is this. Right now, millions of people are in a camp in China because they don't believe in what their government is doing. And we're focusing on stuff that happened 50 to 100 years ago when we can instead change the world for the better so that history doesn't repeat itself. With these millions of people in China, shit's happened. That's not good. I'm talking full-blown totalitarian, dictatorship where you have no freedoms. And here we are, the mainstream media in Canada and the United States is making you hate the history of your country. You can't change the history. The history is for all of us. We shouldn't be erasing history. History belongs to all of us, and it belongs to no one. It is all of ours. It's not one individual's. And therefore, the only thing we can do from history is learn from it. So when you start removing history, just like George Orwell said, history was completely erased so that the full entire system is now, we're in an endless state where the party is always right and we are in the present and that's all that there is. History's been erased. That's exactly what they're pushing with what is going on today, erasing history, getting you to focus on history. Look what happened here, look what happened there, bad things. Meanwhile, worse things are happening right now. I can tell you that for a 100% fact. At least in history, things happen and there was revolutions. If they got to a point that they're pushing where we end up in a 5G facial recognition smart city, good luck revolting that if we're all connected to AI and all of our minds are connected to artificial intelligence. I'd rather connect to natural intelligence by taking clinically studied Shilajit, by taking the Action 2.0 with clinically studied ingredients, or by taking the Irish moss for the full matrix of minerals that ignite every single biological process in your body and support cellular function. Because think about it, remember, your DNA is light codes and minerals are frequencies of light. That's why I'd rather connect to the natural intelligence of the divine world than the fake, synthetic, artificial intelligence of the fake matrix world, which they're trying to do. Someone said Akon City. Akon did this city in Africa, but it's a complete scam. It's going to be a smart city, and he's a globalist shill, and we'll talk about that later on. But I can tell you that was a complete scam, and it's not what you think. Facial recognition smart city is what Akon set up, unfortunately. But my point is this, is that very interestingly, and I'm surprised they did it, but Chalk did temporarily extend for the last time 8 to 12 hours more, potentially 6, depending on how many slots get filled in the next few hours, the July 4th flash sale. 53% off lifetime discount of any subscription or bundle, or 60% off all orders store-wide, including the 7 Wonders, which is the adaptogenic mushroom blend, which is in short supply right now because there's so many fake mushroom extracts out there that is very strange. And the Armor, which has the astragalus, which has the effect on the human body to have anti-aging. It has an anti-aging effect on the human body. There's nothing else like it. Very, very important to understand that there are ingredients you can take that are superfoods and that optimize the function of your DNA, which is the opposite of what fluoride and chemicals and things do, which is very good that we're even able to take these ingredients. Someone mentioned the cacao. Remember that Choc is limiting the ability to purchase the cacao because they got a small batch release of a organic farm in Bolivia, mineral-rich soils, of certified 97.3 heirloom genetics, 97.3% heirloom genetic cacao, which is a night and day difference from the hybrid stuff that we get in the form of chocolate, cacao beans, cacao nibs, etc. They are, unfortunately, the vast majority of cacao you've had is the fake cacao. This is the OG cacao, the cacao that the Mayans cut each other's hearts out to sacrifice to the gods to thank them for this cacao. That's what it is. Certified heirloom, certified organic, powerful superfood. High amounts of energy, increases mood and focus. You know that cacao is considered food of the gods. Definitely recommend everyone gets a bag of cacao before Choc closes down the ability to purchase it, because that's why you can't even get any cacao on a subscription basis, because Choc does not have enough to give it out on a subscription basis, because they'd have to close down everyone's, essentially their, what's it called? Let's kick this dude out. They close down the ability to subscribe to it because they don't have enough. This dude said, yeah, exactly. Well, dude, if you don't like the lives, make sure that you unfollow and leave the live feed. But if you comment again, I will kick you out. So enjoy your little one moment of fame of leaving your comment saying you're unfollowing. Guess what, big guy? When you unfollowed, 20 or 30 people followed. So I'm just saying, like, it's no point. I've never been the dude to announce, I'm unfollowing you, you bastard. Please, if I don't like someone, I unfollow them, or I just don't mention, or just leave the situation. You know what I'm talking about? So please, let's not be foolish here, big guy. This is, yes, they're cacao beans with the skin intact. The skin intact, which is where a ton of nutrients are actually stored in a cacao bean, is in the skin. And sometimes the best way to consume it, in my opinion, is either you put it in a, you're having, let's say, oatmeal or something. Very good, very beneficial to add it to there. But sometimes I like to take banana, and I get the cacao beans, okay? By the way, this is all at choc.com, CHOQ.com, and you use the code either 60 off for 60% off all orders store-wide, which is insane. Do not miss out on this deal. It's temporarily extended. Please don't make me say it again, man. Or if you're subscribing to any Choc supplement, you want to experience the full range of clinically studied benefits, which are based on 90 days, you use the code 53life. And then you get a 53% off lifetime discount. That is absolutely insane. And I don't know how much longer they're going to be even doing this code for. Because like I said, it was temporarily extended. And Theos, let's relax with hardcore promoting other products and whatnot. You know what I mean? Let's take it easy on that. But exactly, Jer Bear. I'm having oatmeal for breakfast. Might add cacao. Hey, definitely should. The Prodigy 33 said, cacao tastes like natural chocolate. It does, because it is the OG cacao. That's the difference with the Choc certified 97.3 heirloom genetic, 97.3% heirloom genetic. There's no other cacao you can get out there that is certified heirloom. That's the difference. Like I said, with Choc, they got the certified organic, certified wild crafted Irish moss. You can't get that anywhere else. You got the Tomcat 100, which is the only clinically studied wild crafted Tomcat. These are superfoods. Get in on the temporary extension on the July 4th flash sale. 60% off all orders store-wide using the code 60 off, and or 53% off lifetime discount, which is a way better deal in my opinion. Subscribe to any Choc supplement, use the code 53life, and get a 53% off lifetime discount. Soul of a Wild Warrior said, hey, I'm ready. What do you recommend? Or Shane, I'm ready. What do you recommend for women? Please, star, fire emoji. What I definitely recommend, the most popular combination for women is the Shilajit, Tomcat, and Seven Wonders, or the Shilajit, the Irish Moss, and the Armor. See which one you feel most drawn to, but you want to get the hormone optimizing effects of the purified Shilajit, and you want to synergize that with either the Armor, like I said, or the Tomcat 100. Some people do a double dose of Shilajit. Totally up to you. Feel what you feel most drawn to. That's what I recommend. And remember that for men, the most popular combination is the Choc Daily and the Action 2.0. 53% off lifetime discount. 53%. A temporarily extended 6 to 12 hours max, depending on how many slots are filled. Do not miss out. Get in on a 53% off lifetime discount or 60% off. For those who are overseas, the best code to use is the 60 off. 60 OFF for 60% off all orders store-wide. So if you're getting a multi-month supply, you get it sent to your place, and you get the bottle costs way down, and that covers shipping. So definitely recommend. Overseas, you want to experience the full range of benefits that are based on 90 days, get a multi-month supply. Dom J. Fiore said, Shane, why don't you ever comment on crypto? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Well, I actually have a video that I deleted off Instagram because Instagram was, I don't know if I said something inappropriate in there, so I just deleted it. But it is on my BitChute channel. So go to my link in bio, scroll down and join the BitChute channel. Then scroll down and see the video called like Bitcoin or whatever, and I talk about a number of things. But again, it may trigger you, so beware. In other words, this video of me talking about crypto isn't me going in there and saying, buy crypto, buy this, buy that. That's not what I'm saying, so beware. But it's not investment advice either, so go check it out. Soul of a Wild Warrior said, any women on here recommendations? For probably a year now, the main recommendations for women, like I said, is the clinically studied Shilajit minimum. And if you want the full matrix of minerals for hair, skin, and nails, you get the Irish moss. Remember that Shilajit also has a clinical study specifically on its ability to upregulate the genes responsible for collagen synthesis, which equates to healthy hair, skin, and nails. It's also brain function and energy and memory and concentration, etc. Very powerful. Someone said, I thought the Tongkat was for men only. That is false news. The Tongkat is for anyone. It is an adaptogen. So it adapts to the individual's needs and requirements based on the beautiful and amazing digestive tract that you have that has trillions of neurons. Bratz Doll K said, which one helps fertility? Shilajit is one of the most powerful natural ingredients in the world that increases fertility. For men, it boosts sperm count and sperm motility. And for women, it balances and optimizes reproductive function. It's very, very, Shilajit is one of the best, man. Like, I could just freak, man, about how good Shilajit is. It's a total antidote to the depopulation agenda. If everyone's taking Shilajit, they wouldn't be able to depopulate us. But that's enough of that. That's a little bit too conspiracy. The other thing is, for fertility, I would definitely say is every chalk supplement, the Irish moss. The Irish moss for fertility, of course. You're getting the full matrix of minerals. Every single mineral ignites a different biological process in your body. So definitely the minerals in the Irish moss, the full matrix of minerals. Please remember the clinically studied benefits are based on 90 days, so make sure you take the 90-day chalk challenge. Soul of a Wild Warrior said, what do you eat in a day in addition to this vitamins plus minerals, if you don't mind? Good question. I don't mind. Couple things. First things first. And that's true. Homeboy RD, that's a funny name. Chalk is launching that soon. That is true. They are dropping that soon. So the thing about vitamins and minerals that I will say is that the vitamin stands for vital mineral because every single vitamin requires a mineral to activate it. So if you're getting the full matrix of minerals, you're getting the vitamins from the rest of your food you eat. That's just what I want to make clear. The 90-day chalk challenge, Rising National, is taking chalk for 90 days because all the chalk clinical studies are based on 90 days of consistent consumption. So for men, the increase in testosterone. For women, the balancing of estrogen. For both, the hormone optimization, the energy, the concentration, the focus. Those are all based on 90 days of consistent consumption. Because think about it. We may have consumed fluoride and GMOs and chlorine for decades. Now let's give ourselves potent superfoods for a consistent amount of time as well. So very, very good question. So the most important thing is people get tied up in, either vegan or either carnivore or either omnivore or either pescatarian. Many, many, many different things. In my opinion, the most important thing, especially when Bill Gates is talking about mandatory veganism by 2030, is organic. You want organic. And I can tell you that the Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burgers, which they are pushing on people, are funded and invested in by the Schmill and Schmelinda Schmates Foundation. And it's all GMO. It's full GMO. It's full pesticide. It's full canola oil, which is toxic. So what I recommend definitely is avoiding any fake foods. And I'm not talking about, imitation, like if you're making a certain food look or taste like another food. That's not fake necessarily. I'm talking about fake ingredients, like what's in the Beyond Meat and all these things. What's most important is natural. What's most important is non-chemical, okay? Non-chemical and non-GMO. That is the most important. And if you want to go a step above, you got certified organic. You got what is known as heirloom. Very, very interesting. Remember to avoid food-like products and processed foods that are not real. For more info on that I can't talk about on here, go to the link in my bio, the first link in my bio, and join my private uncensored Telegram channel. Telegram is an ulterior social media platform which has no censorship and no algorithms and no BS. If I post, you get my post. And so I'm sending voice notes in there. I'm sending videos. I'm sending all kinds of stuff. Get in my private uncensored Telegram channel and we will talk further. Make sure that you also get in on the July 4th temporarily extended flash sale from Chalk for 60% off all orders store-wide using the code 60OFF, okay? Or use the code 53life for a 53% off lifetime discount on any subscription or bundle. Very, very incredible discount they're running that's temporarily extended. Do not miss out. All right, get in Telegram. Talk to me very soon. DM me with any questions. And hey, last thing, my TikTok, I'm about to blow up on TikTok, man. I got a million ideas. TikTok is where it's at. Honestly, I'm stoked to be going live on TikTok. You may be thinking, dude, I don't know. I'm telling you, TikTok is addicting. It is mind control, and it's amazing. And it's amazing to use it as the double-edged sword that it is. So that's why you want to get in my TikTok channel as well. It's the same account name here, Connecting Consciousness. And I'm going to be launching a ton of videos today and tomorrow and the next day. TikTok is where it's at, man. You get millions and millions of views. I saw a dude, it's a 7-second TikTok. It got 4 million views and 300,000 likes. I'm thinking, dude, are you serious? The engagement on there is insane. And there's videos and there's way less censorship. That's one of the main things, that there's way less censorship. I see videos with 1 million views telling people not to get the you-know-what, and they got 100,000 likes, and it's not even censored. There's nothing like that exists on Instagram, man. So with that being said, I'm going to take a real deep breath after this live feed because we've been going a mile a minute. Get in my Telegram, get on my TikTok, get some Chalk, enhance your system naturally, boost your vibrational frequency, take the purified Shilajit, and DM me with any questions. All right. Remember, 60 off, 60 OFF for 60% off all orders store-wide, or 53% off lifetime discount using the code 53life. All right. Much love, everyone. DM me with any questions. Exactly. Good question.